Daytime. Imaya. I believe every word I speak. Believe me a little. Well, say every. When you talked to me a while ago, I was on the side of the side. I was with you a cell phone number. Then. This is the right time. Everything. You have grown up in an orphanage and told you to work in a private detective agency today. Would you have seen a sage side of you? That's not. He asked you to photo. I showed up. You did not escape the love of him. The story is very interesting. Imaya. Why are you talking about this? Okay, when you speak so happy, I have a laissez hope. Saravan. I don't expect a green signal. There is a lot of joy in the middle of the joy. What's the fire? Daddy will talk to you. Speak up, that's the same time. When he speaks, you will agree with the condition he impose. What is the condition? I heard, he's not saying. Saravan. Something like that. That's the same thing for me. How much did I listen? He doesn't give up a little bit. Okay, let me come and see him. Before the wedding, you should not come to our home. He wants to talk to a public place. Where is Ranganathan Street in Dinagar Law? Imaya. Do you not let this mock and tease? Even a place to talk about is a status. He is not like that. You don't like to come to the hotel. It is okay for the meeting spot. It's okay, is he giving such an option? So he will come to the place where I say. Come on, tell me the place. You should not think of my father. He has no hesitation to come home with me. Saravan was stunned and silent as he kept his cell phone in his ear. Imaya smiled at the other end. What's the talk and the breath? I said, what's so big shocking Nusa? I don't think this will be like this. I'm right. I'm right. But Dad knows this. Listen. Is there any other choice? Why can't he come home with me? Okay. I am talking. Saravan said, hugging a long sigh and putting his cell phone in the pocket, and went to the dining room. The next day at 11 a.m. the Mercedes-Benz car was heading towards Tambaram. Saravan, who was driving a car at a moderate speed, turned to Gnanasekar, who was sitting next to him. Gnanasekar, who was reading his tweet records on the cell phone, looked at him as he tilted his head upright. What now? Forgotten to come home? Gnanasekar smiled. How many more thank you have to say? You have said at least 10 times until this minute. Look at Saravan. Himaya's attitude and talk is very impressive. Is it a minus point with the Himalayas? It is not even acknowledged by Dot. Everybody born in this world is an orphan. While Gnanasekar was saying she is right, the car moved from the main road and entered the branch from the side and returned to the concrete path of the residential premises, which was known as the Kalpadaru apartment. Slowly crawling between the colored Croton's tanks and the Hay telephone blog went to the side of the lift in the ground floor. Gnanasekar asked. How many stairs? Anjam, Dot, both of them got out of the car, traveled in the lift and walked in a veranda, which was not walking on the 5th floor, and stood in front of the 527 flat. The lock was hanging on the door. 6. Saravan and Gnanasekar looked at each other as they saw the lock of the heavy yellow Kothra Yanabdal, hanging on the door. Saravan. She knows that we come to see the Himalayas, don't know. You know the Dot. Then. I know Dot. I am calling Hima. No, don't call. This is the home of the house. Sorry uncle. Sorry Saravan. The two looked back, hearing the voice of the back. Imaya was standing. The face of the face sweaty, the glitter of the glittering of them approached them in a fast style. Very very sorry. I went to the opposite flat for a long time, and I went to the opposite flat. An old mother who was alone in that flat was the bathroom. They had no companion. I have come to the end of the lift. Imaya finished talking. Gnanasekar handed over her with a smile. I will ask you, sorry. I remember you without knowing what you have gone out. Imaya opened the lock with the keys in his hand and pushed the door with the keys in their hand. She rubbed the switches on the side and brightened the small space. All three entered. From the center of Imaya Hall, she sat down to the sofa and sat down to the kitchen for a moment. Gnanasekar's side of the sofa sat on the opposite wall of the sofa, the words written by the white sack peas on a square small blackboard. Caught. I smile. By moving. That did not hurt. There is no meaning. To show the pains. That not the desire. Meaning. Seeing Gnanasekar reading, Saravan tilted his head slightly and said in a thin voice. He is the habit of writing the words on the blackboard every day. Do you come here often? I have come up with a lot of time. Hima does not believe in God. Even a Sami image is a sight. You are not believing in God. I do not believe in God. But there is a puja in the house. Gnanasekar's big forehead is subject to amazing lines. What do you mean? How can you be a homeless house? Bye. Let's see that puja. Gnanasekar and Saravan followed her to go to the southwest corner of the house. Two large questions were painted in the red paint and in the small room, which was a fourfold, long and width of the 4 feet. Gnanasekar was stunned. What, have you not put up the question? Imaya told her, a bare smile on her lips. A question mark is the mother. Another question is daddy. Can I forget the birth of me? Gnanasekar was soaked by a pride. Mummy, talk to you and the activities is right for me. I have nothing to do with surprise. Uncle. I will do what is right for my mind. It's okay, we will come to our thing. You have to talk about an important issue. Tell me, uncle. It is not something to talk about. Come on, let's sit and talk. Gnanasekar said to the sofa. Saravan and her sitting side by side, Imaya sat in the polymer chair opposite them. Tell me, uncle. Gnanasekar, who said, before I say that condition, you read it. Gnanasekar inserted his hand into his coat pocket and gave it to the Hima. What is this? This is a part of the will. Isn't it? Yes. Daddy Sankaranalingam, i.e., Saravanada's grandfather, this is the most important version of the 6-year-old, I have only taken it. Imaya, with a little hesitation, raised her voice slightly and began to read the words of the will. So. I have to make a good idea that my only son, Gnanasekar, is the only one who can use the good-natured property of my own son, Gnanasekar. This will be legally recorded with self-sufficiency and clean thinking. And I would like to record my personal preference in this will. When my heirs are married, it is good to be a family of our race. In spite of this, it is very important that if the family is married to other castes, it is very important to have a good family background, even if the family is less in status and property value. I am confident that my successors will fulfill this option of mine. Gnanasekar and Saravan climbed with a collapsed face, who had just finished reading the life. Uncle. I have read the life you have given. I understand what you have to say. Tell me what you understand. I and your son love you. I have no mother and dad. I don't know who he is. Same. Saravan, who had been watching nothing until then, licked Gnanasekar in his or her vision. How do we know the status and respect for Himaya, who is his mother, and who does not know his father? This is an unnecessary thing. I like the Himalayas. Not enough, Saravan. So what do you have to marry Himalayas? You are not even talking about this. I am not even married. I do not even have a drop. I do not want to do it. I do not want to say it. Imaya handed over Sarvana with her gentle smile and climbed Gnanasekar. Uncle, you are a talented multi-talented businessman. Gnanasekar smiled. This is not the intelligence with me. Saravanada's grandfather is going to come to his grandson to come from an honorable family, and he has done it in the will he wrote. Saravan raged with the rage and pushed the sofa. Imaya Yanu, what kind of paragraph is that? You have a paragraph? Saravan, for a minute, she said as she moved to the tip of the chair. There is nothing in this world that is impossible in this world. If you try, any question will be answered. 7. Saravan climbed Hima with a shocked face. Imaya. The smell is to take it? Not necessary. Imaya slowly shook her head and refused. No, Saravan. Every text written in the will be respected. It is written and recorded in front of the registrar. Gnanasekar with a little laughter. Mother Imaya. I am very happy to understand what I have come to say. Very difficult, uncle. I am trying. Saravan is angry. What do you try? What do you say, Imaya? This is not a simple thing. It is very difficult. It is still a thing that can be said. Don't be able to talk to my father to make me happy. I do not need to make that reading. I have a lot of fun. You don't think a guilt? Gnanasekar returned to Saravan with a mockery. If you want to be a guilt. But I have the same guilt. We have the value of every word in the Hima and every word. Let the mother of the birth of the birth of the birth of the mother. Saravan raged. Do you have this wedding instead of speaking? Look, Saravan. I have no enemy of your love. He thinks nothing to do properly. Gnanasekar was saying. Saravan sat motionless to get up from the sofa. What are you? You go. I will come. You are not angry at me. You have no use. Both of you are relaxing and by an end. After saying in a decisive voice, Gnanasekar slowly walked out of the room. The beach. The evening that comes with laissez darkness. The raging seaweeds collided with the shore, tied to the center of the sand area and tied the knees to the sea as they stretched out in the morning. Saravan said in a Gamup's voice. Imaya. I do not need to say what my father said to me. You have been telling you 2 days. But you know that you put it in the ear. Are you afraid of my father? It's not afraid. Then. I took a chala what he said. Is this the case with the Salanga? What is this song? Is this a sketch match? I have been able to win a life of a lifetime. Dad with my father. Saravan tapped her shoulder, wandering her with her finger in silence without saying anything. What talk do we see? Imaya sighed with a sigh. She said in a mummy voice. Did I tell you a truth? What's the truth? That thing was in my mind before your dad was saying. That is, I will find my mother and father in front of them and think about it. I have made an effort once. What's the effort? Yes. I have been celebrating the festival with the children of a Diwali year ago. Then there was a mother of the professional officer, Vijayavadivel. Saravan raised his 2 eyebrows in a surprise. What did they say? At 4 o'clock in the morning, he was crying with me, crying with the voice of the orphanage. Did I come to the orphanage to Diwaliani? What are people? Deepalakshmi. Beautiful people. How can those people change? When I grow up and know some details, I do not like that. All this day, you can say all this. The situation is now in the situation. It is your father. He blows a small spark that I have. Imaya. Don't be mad. How can you find out what happened to you as a child? Just a hope. You are not just deceiving yourself. Do you know what is the negative? Do you have a positive idea? I am journalism, psychology, and gold medalist. Graduation ceremony. Tell me for a moment. Do you know what I was talking about? Tell me. Tell me. It is better to try to make a track of Satunu's footprint than to think that a thing is going to happen or not. The effort is a joy. Saravan handed over to the speech of Imaya. Enough. That's all, is it still? Look, if we have a problem, we will not be intimidated by it. It will give us a lesson. Introduce us the energy that is hidden in our minds and give us hope. Imaya, is you with you? The end of the day. While Imaya was saying, her cell phone was crowded with vibration mode. She looked at who was calling. Tarasandrika was calling on the other end. Good evening, madam, fitted with the hand on the ear. Good evening, Imaya. Where are you now? It came up with madam. My friend with a friend of Santam Pikla -degree ice cream parlor. What's the matter, madam? Chennai Police Commissioner Vaikanthavan has asked you to come to the office for the next hour. He asked him to ask him ba kitty. S. Okay, madam. Don't be late. Imaya hugged the phone by saying, here's a departed madam, and climbed Sarvana with a confused face. She spent 30 seconds and told the matter. Saravan is annoyed. You are not the first to get rid of this detective agency job. I will quit this job to find my mother and father. I will leave now and go to the commissioner's office. Come on, Saravan. Carl with me, I will try you. No. I will catch Ola or the surplus. You can get up. Imaya said. Imaya started walking towards the road. Saravan stood in the dark of the beach, and Saravan stood on her back as she looked at her with a sigh. He returned. 8. Saravan's face mixed with joy and astonishment equal to his eyes. His school friend Lokesh was standing with a wide smile. He is the only friend who meets 2 or 3 times a year and says hello on the phone at least once a month. Saravan will only consult him on many things. Although a little cashew, he has come to the painful and helps friends. But that is many times that he has troubled him. Lazy was found in the grey color t-shirt and white pant. He asked as Saravan's shoulder tapped. What, Saravan, how are you? Forced smile and said, Finda. Do you know the fine you said? Saravan said, just a little business problem, that's it? Yes, how are you on this beach? By poetry. No to. Then. To see you. Hey, what's wrong? Lokesh laughed and said. I will come to this beach at least once a week. When you stopped the car in the parking area, I was surprised to see that you got out of the car and walked in a beautiful golden sand. When I was sitting on the phone, I got up. When he thought that he could no longer hide anything, Saravan was silent for a few seconds and finished telling all the things about Imaya in a soft voice. Lokesh listened carefully and shocked her eyes with both hands on his waist. Oh, you have been very respectful and respectful. I have put the soil on the soil. For 23 years, searching for your mother and father, come to my forearm, I think, I do not know what kind of justification. Lokesh. As soon as you ask, this is the only thing that you understand, Himayama. Only I can find her mother and father. Lokesh put his hand on Saravan's shoulder. When you look at the details, Imaya knows that any problem, the challenge is like a type of success. It is because they are working in a detective agency. You have no choice but to cooperate with her. What's wrong? What's this business? Look at it. Emotion is not worth it. There is no point in Kathurathula. A problem can be easy. At the same time, we cannot afford a problem. We will not have a chance. Same. Does this problem get a good result? Yes. How? There is something she has to have a confidence in her condition, not descending on the field. As Lokesh says, Saravan's hand is called Vair. Look at Hubanla. Saravan said, Dad. Saravan began to speak in a thin voice. Tell me. What is the present day? Saravan remained quiet for a few seconds and said, what is this question? Answer what I heard. Monday for today. What is the diem? 7 o'clock. Where are you now? Do you know where you are at this time? It, come. Tell me. Saravan. Sorry. I can't remember. You have been given an appointment for the underscards of business paragraph with Microsoft Company MT Vyashgupta at 7 p.m. today. Do you remember this? Somehow forgotten. A good businessman should not have this oblivion. Sorry. Here. I have left. I will sit in front of Vyasgupta in half an hour. It's not, do it? At the other end, Gnanasekar cut off his cell phone with a sigh and a slightly darkened face. Lokesh asked. What, Saravan? Is there any problem? Lokesh smiled to tell his problem. Romantic. I will cover the eye. You do not know your father, you do not know. Okay, go out. Forget the Hima for a couple of hours. Saravan looked at Lokesh. What to talk about? It is impossible to say it now. Saravan is annoyed. You are not enough. Look, Vera. Do you have a marriage to the Himalayas? Walk. I will help it. Don't you help, how? You call me at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. How can I say it? Go away now. Go and look at the business. As Lokesh Saravan's back and moved on, Saravan started walking in the sandstone towards the parking area where his car was parked. Waves of confusion in the mind were protesting. When Imaya and Tarachandrika reached the police commissioner's office, the office was in peace. A few rooms were visible with half. Madam. I am tension. What do you think the commissioner would have come to you and me this time? The commissioner's BA while Tarasandrika is saying, this question you asked for a while. Others. By madam. Tsar has been waiting for your two people. The first room on the second floor. When the two traveled in the lifts nearby and touched the second floor, a 60-year-old woman was sitting with a slim body opposite the police commissioner Vakanthadavan. Tarasandrika climbed the commissioner. Good evening, Tsar. Imaya and Tarasandrika sat down to show the empty seats in the left. The commissioner asked. Seems to be tired. Tell me to bring coffee. No. Tsar. This is antime. No coffee. It's okay. Do you know who is this? The commissioner asked as he showed the woman sitting opposite him. The two looked at the head and said in a hesitant voice. This is a great tranquility. This is the girls' children's archive in the village of Kanchipuram. Tarasandrika and Imaya said, be happy to hear. In return, she looked at him with a small smile. I came to talk to you. Do you talk about me? Yes, before it. She said. She put her hand into the polythene bag below the chair she was sitting, took the jasmine garland inside it and put her close to the Hima. 9. Imaya. She nodded it with nervousness. The little smile, which was infected on the lips of the chastity, spread throughout the face. Imaya, you just look at the governor's rosemala and hold a complimentary ceremony. Mom. I don't understand anything you talk about. Until then, Commissioner Vakanthadavan interrupted the speech of the smile. Miss Imaya. The charity madam is right for you this evening. The police department has been able to find out how much you can find a year. Tarasandrika interrupted the commissioner, not interested in speaking. Sir. Detective agency with me has more than 50 cases. The same month, I said a thing to see you and the Himalayas in a wedding. Tarasandrika headed. Yes. I remember this. Is that embryo donation? S. The same, a gang of medical intellectuals cheated on the women, giving good jobs and making false promises, and in the blanket of fitness medical certificate, In the blanket of fitness medical certificate, the body of the embryo and many women was in a state of disrepair. The reason for the gang caught is an important information that Amaya gave to the intelligence agencies. While the police commissioner was proud, Tarasandrika looked at him. What Amaya? Even the last month, I have said that this is the difficulty of handling the case when the paragraph is talking about the fraudulent affair. Sorry madam. I told Annie that it is true. But the moral anger within my subconsciousness is not sleeping or not to eat. I am not thinking a little bit of intelligence. Tarasandrika thinly tapped the cheek of Hima as she blossomed. She interrupted the talk. 7 women from the archive with the women who have been affected by the donation of the embryo. The doctors have given a proper treatment. The doctors have said that they have come to see the police commissioner. Amaya headed with a gentle smile. Madam, a man's difficulty is the only thing that is known to another girl. It is such a passionate, and in this embryo fraudulent problem, the risk of recruiting the culprits. It is for the police commissioner to thank you for immediate action. The commissioner smiled. I access your thanks Amaya. For the police department, 10 people are honest, but a black man cannot find a cassette and not find a criminal. A great job. Thank you sir. The commissioner remained hesitant for a few seconds and climbed the Hima. I know that Madam Tarasandrika is saying, how can you know how to do his future ministry and travel towards it? How can you know that? Amaya laughed and left. Parusa has no ambition. Sir. I have been working with me. This is a social service like me. We have to talk about this embryo, the fraudulent affair. We will still talk about some things again. I will meet you again next week. After talking for a while, Tarasandrika, Karpekam, and the 3 of them stood up and said goodbye. The next morning, 6.5 hours. The Saravana cell phone, which was in deep sleep in the blanket, raised the dial. With a mild irritation, he took it without looking at the cell phone and gently voiced his ears. Hello, who? I am Amaya. Saravan rode his body from the blanket and sat up. He asked in a shocking voice. Amaya, are you? I am myself. I am going to Alapet for 10 o'clock in the morning. Is it Ayalapet? Yes, a village for Trichy. What are you going there? When you find the mother and father, this Ayalapet village is a small starting point. It is from that point that I am going to start the journey with me. Who is there? Go and see. I don't understand you. Train at 10 o'clock in the morning. I will return to the day. Don't call me. My cell phone will be switched off. Amaya. As she said, sleep, Kandanug. Saravan, Amaya cut off the connection of her cell phone. 9:30 p.m. On the 3rd platform of the Egmar railway station, the express train heading to Trichy is waiting for the long body, with a small suitcase, looking for her compartment. In the morning, the entire railway station was full of excitement like a village festival. The voices of female announcers were sounding in the air, pulling the roller suitcases and walking on all the platforms. Her cell phone ringtone in her handbag was released as she was crossing the first-class AC compartment. As she walked, she saw who the cell phone was called. Saravan waited at the other end. She rubbed the green tick mark and placed her cell phone. Tell me Saravan. Saravan exploded in anger. What do you mean? I have phoned 4 times in the morning. Sorry Saravan. I was in a hurry to go to Trichy. I remember the phone. I did not even see the phone. I did not see the phone. Saravan. Well, where are you now? I have been looking for a compartment with me at the Amor station. Amaya, this is an unnecessary job. What? You go to the village of Ayalapet. Look at Saravan. I will find my mother and father. My father's speech and the condition. I would have said 100 times. but you all wipe out a tissue paper dust. I have a great regret for me. Well, just for a couple of tomorrow, keep that grief.